Shalom. Before I begin, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Ruach Kudash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, that rule well and teach well, the men that taught me this truth. And also shalom and salutations to the fellow brethren and laborers that are laboring in this work as well. So this lesson that I'm going to be getting into today is going to be about, the watchmen of Israel. Because the Lord has set watchmen. And that word watchman means a guard, someone that's set to protect or to basically announce when trouble is on the way. You see, and that's the job or the lot of a prophet, is to warn a particular people, which those people are the Israelites, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You see? So let's start with the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, and verse 17. It says, "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me." So this word watchman could also be paralleled with the word prophet, because the word prophet translates to say before, to prophesy something, to say something before it happens, to give warning. Oh, Noah was a prophet. Why? Because he prophesied of the coming rain. You see, he was a watchman. He was guarding. He was set up to guard the people, but they didn't take heed to his words. You see? Because every time the prophets were set up or brought back or put on the scene, it's because there's danger on the way, man. You see, it's because something bad is about to happen. Because the prophets are bearers of bad news. There's nothing good that's coming when a prophet is set up. Matter of fact, let's get this in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, and verse 8, and it reads, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence." So the prophets of old, that's all they prophesied about, man, of evil, and also against different kingdoms, and pestilences, man. So it wasn't good news every time the prophets were on the scene. That's why, let's get this too. This is, that's why when the prophets would come around, the people would be shook or afraid. You see? So this is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 4. It says, "And Samuel did that which the Lord Yahweh spake, and came to Bethlehem. And the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, Comest thou peaceably?" You see, so they trembled and were afraid at the presence of Samuel, which was a prophet of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But why were they afraid? Why did they tremble? Because he was a bearer of bad news. Matter of fact, there's also another account with Ahab, with that prophet. No good thing. Khan. Let me see if I can find the Baba Kusha who. Yeah, so I can't find it, but if I find it, I'll just put it in the description. But the prophet Ahab, not the prophet Ahab, the man, I forgot his name, Micaiah, I believe that's his name, but he prophesied against Ahab, and Ahab said, "Look, this man doesn't prophesy anything good concerning me." He was basically mad at that prophet for telling him the truth, that he was gonna die, man. And that's what we're doing now. That's also a reason why we're hated and despised, because we're telling the people they're gonna die, and they don't wanna listen or hear bad things. They rather hear smooth things, man. They don't want to deal with reality. You see? So let's go back to Ezekiel 3 and verse 17 again. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth, and give the warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So it's a job. Once you receive the warning, man. Once you receive the vision of what's to come, and you don't warn the people, and when the people die or get taken, and because of that evil that you knew of, but you didn't give the warning, that's blood on your hands. You see, that's like you see a bus coming, and it's about to hit somebody, but it's still a far distance off. It's like the person's blindsided crossing the street, but they don't see the bus, but you see the bus, and you don't scream or say anything about it. And then that person gets hit and killed by the bus. Now that blood is on your hands, man. But if you would have yelled something out and said, watch out, that person might have had time to move out the way, so to speak, man. You see? In verse 19, it says, Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. But thou hast delivered thy soul. So vice versa. If you warn them, if you scream out that the bus is coming and they look, and then they disregard what you're saying and they get killed, that's on them. That blood is not on your hands because you did your job. So let's go from there to Isaiah. Isaiah 62 and verse 6, it says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. You see, so if you occupy the lot of a prophet or a watchman, you really shouldn't be keeping silence. You really should be constantly warning. That's what Noah did, man. He just constantly kept warning and kept building, because with him doing that, that's basically wiping the blood the blood out of his hands, man. You see, because when the people get destroyed, that's not on him. He did his part. You see, verse 7, it says, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth, man. So that pretty much concludes the lesson. Lord willing, it was edifying. Call halayim la Yahweh ba'ashem Yahweh shai ba'ashem Ruach HaKodesh. Until next time, shalom.